welcome back to another studio vlog. So I'm going to be vlogging March 2025 and it's already started to be quite busy, which is why I think it's, how many collages have I done? It's the 6th of March by the time I'm filming this. That's how I know what day it is now, because of how many collages I've done. It's quite handy. So anyway, this month I've got a print release which should have happened by the time this video comes out. I'm going away for a week, so we're going to North Wales. I'm going to Devon. And what else have I got on? Oh, I need to finish the tree prints that I started in January. So I've been engraving them over the last few days and they're just taking a long time, and it feels like quite a lot of pressure because I'm pleased with them so far, so I don't want to mess it up at this stage. So yeah, hopefully today I will have printed the 4th layer on at least one of the tree prints, because I want to get the 4th layer on all of them before I go away, so that when I come back from my holiday they'll be ready for their final layer. And today we're also recording the podcast. So today is the day after the semi-finals of Landscape Artist of the Year Season 10 airs. Spoiler alert, although you probably know by now, I didn't get through to the finals, which was a mixture at the time of like disappointment and relief. Relief because I was just felt out of my depth in every sense, and also disappointment because I would have loved to do Stonehenge, which was the next challenge. I just realised Winnie's resting on my microphone, so you might not be able to hear this. I've popped Winnie down now and she's looking at me like, no, please pick me up and hug me. So yeah, I feel fine, I think, about the whole Landscape Artist of the Year thing. I'm trying to like hold on to the fact that I did well to get on the show and I did well to get through, but also like the main thing is I was brave enough to do it all. Like everything else was kind of out of my control. I could have made the best print I'd ever made and still not got through because of art being so subjective. Yeah, I'm just trying to hold on to the fact that I was brave to do it, like pushing through my anxiety. But yeah, it does feel a little bit like strange today. Yeah, the print I made on the semi-finals, so it was sat on my shelf framed for ages because it's gone to an exhibition now, which will be done by the time you're watching this, at Portsmouth Dockside. And I kept walking past it as I went in and out of my studio and I kept checking it, probably part of my OCD because checking is like a big thing with OCD, but I kept looking at it as I went past to like see, is it as bad as I remember? And every time I was like, no, that is not a print that I like. And it's frustrating that I didn't make something I was proud of at that moment, but you can't make good art every day, and that's just life. So yeah, it's like I can tell that even though things are a little bit tricky now, it will be well worth it in the long run. Like, you grow from experiences like this. And actually, when we record the podcast later today, the theme for this month is failure, because I was like, this is like the perfect thing to talk about this month, and we haven't covered it before. I mean, we have in the sense of we kind of talk about the downsides and things that go wrong a lot to do with our business, but we've never done it as like a whole topic. So I'm interested to get into that, especially in the kind of mindset I'm in right now, because it's all quite fresh, even though it happened a long time ago. It's like watching it on TV has brought it up again. So yeah, that will be interesting and hopefully a helpful episode. And that will be out by the time you're watching this, so you can go listen to that on Spotify and all the other platforms. So this morning I added the 4th layer to the Catkins tree print. This is the sketch that it's inspired by. And actually, so I talked about in the last video that one not quite coming together yet, and I was hoping the 3rd layer would bring it together, which it didn't really because it was like a light pink and it still wasn't really looking like anything. But this 4th layer I really feel has added definition, and I feel really excited about this print now. Like, I thought it was going to be like the dud of the 3, but now I feel like actually this one has potential to be my favourite. So that was a surprise that the print has like turned around like that. So I'm really excited to get the last layer on it in a few weeks' time, and that will be like a navy blue, adding all the contrast on the tree and possibly a little bit in the background as well. Now I'm going to print the 4th layer on the silver birch print, which is my favourite print of the tree prints, so it's pressure to get it right. So it's been a few days and I'm now in my favourite place in the whole world, which is Dartmoor, because I grew up on the edge of Dartmoor and it's just such a beautiful landscape. So I finished printing the 4th layer on the tree blocks, and they've all gone down pretty well. I feel excited to finish them in a couple of weeks. And then we came to Devon, and yesterday we went for a walk in Teignmouth, and then we went to Make Southwest in Bobby Tracy, which is my favourite art gallery. I've always loved going there, and now I'm part of the guild there. So that's where I stock my work in person. And they have the Society of Wood Engravers exhibition on there at the moment, so I went to see that, which was brilliant as always. So that was really lovely. And then yeah, today I'm going to be sketching on Dartmoor. I'm making a print that's going to be exhibited at Make Southwest from the summer onwards until I think the autumn. And the focus of this exhibition is about the process, so what it takes to come up with the final artwork. So I'm going to be including sketches, the different layers of the print that I'm going to make, and also I want to make a video to show in the gallery. So that's what I'm starting today. I'm starting the sketches and I'm starting to record the process. It's not easy to make a decent sketch while also thinking, what angles should I capture this with? Because the film needs to be worthy of a gallery. So yeah, it feels like a bit of pressure today, and I've got today and tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm hoping if I can get enough sketches done today that I'll be able to do a reduction print up here tomorrow instead of sketches, just for fun. So yeah, I'd like to get a good amount done today, but it's already about 1 o'clock because we were out seeing family this morning. So yeah, the pressure's on, and the weather is getting a little bit more grey the more I'm here. I'm not trying to capture exactly what I see in front of me. I'm trying to capture like the essence of Dartmoor. So I've got enough paper for 4 sketches, and I might kind of combine all 4. So I'm really thinking about shape and colour today, rather than you being able to look at this sketch and go, oh, I know exactly where she sat to sketch that, because for me that's not really important. I just want to capture the feeling of the landscape. My sketches are not going particularly well. It's like I'm not very well practiced at sketching Dartmoor, even though it's my favourite landscape, because I haven't been regularly sketching for that long, and I guess I've got more practice with like trees up in Gloucestershire. And this landscape's almost like too big and too empty for me to cope with. Like, I think I really need to practice. Anyway, while I'm here, I thought I'd show you what Dartmoor letterboxing is. So when I was younger, we used to do this all the time. So I spotted one. I haven't opened it yet, but basically they're like you can find them all over Dartmoor, normally in like a crevice of a tor. The tors are the big granite rocks, like structures that you find on top of hills normally. And yeah, so inside the letterbox is some ink and a stamp. This stamp says on it marshmallow. I'm guessing that's some kind of children's creature, a children's cartoon, not sure. And like they're often like in memory of a dog or people. You can just put them anywhere. Like you can hide them and then people find them. And then you can like leave like a little note in the book when you found it. Anyway, and then, so I used to take a stamp round with me on Dartmoor when I was a child, and it was a rabbit stamp. And then when I found a letterbox, I'd stamp their stamp in my book, and I'd stamp my stamp in the book that's kept in the letterbox, like normally Tupperware. So anyway, that is something you can do when you're on Dartmoor. You just go around finding them, and then you put them back. I'll show you where this one was. So I spotted it was just under there. But yeah, you can find them. I'm sure if I walked over there and searched that or there, there'd be a few. But yeah, something fun to do, especially when you're dragging children on walks they don't want to go on, which used to be me when I was younger. Winnie is enjoying having a little nap because we had quite like a busy day yesterday and we've had quite a busy day today, so she's just napping while I sketch.
and Sam's gone for a run, so I've got a bit more time. I've started 4 sketches, but I'm just not sure about any of them, and it's not ideal.
So I finished up the sketches on Dartmoor. It was just a bit too much pressure, I think, because I knew I needed to get these sketches done so I could start the print. And I also knew I wanted to show these sketches at the exhibition. So normally when I sketch, I can be like, oh, that didn't go so well, that's fine. Whereas this time it felt like they needed to go well and they were going to be in a gallery. And when I do sketches I'm not pleased with on a video like this, I can just say, oh, I wasn't that pleased with this sketch, but you don't really want to write that on a gallery wall as like a disclaimer. But when I got them out when I got back, I thought actually there's some parts of these sketches that are really successful. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use them to create a print, because there's not one that stands out to me as like, oh yeah, I'll do that composition. But I definitely think I can create something from them, and they're probably enough of a starting point for the final print. So it's not ideal, but it will be okay, I think. And then I got up at 5:30 this morning and I was going to go on to Dartmoor for sunrise, and then I looked at the weather and I thought there isn't really going to be a sunrise because it's so cloudy, and then the weather said it might rain and it's not that warm, and I thought I might just create a print from around where my parents live on the edge of Dartmoor. So I think I'm going to do the view behind me, which is a view I've done countless times. I've only done one colour reduction print though from it, I think. It was called Patchwork, and I released it last summer and it was popular, but I didn't have many of them and it sold out. And also the colours, I was starting to experiment with warm colours and I was kind of trying to work it out, so I'd like to have another go now that I feel like I've learnt a lot more about colour. And the thing about doing a view over and over for years is that you can quite clearly see your progression through the prints, so it's quite nice to come back to the same view. But I am still doubting should I have gone to Dartmoor today, but I'm here now and I'm just gonna get stuck in. I'm gonna be making a video for Instagram today, so a reel, so I'll probably put in a lot of like portrait shots on this video, because filming things twice is just adds to the workload and interrupts like my creativity. So yeah, that's why there'll be like a lot of split screen going on today. So because it's quite a grey day today, I'm going to be exaggerating some of the tones in the landscape, and I feel like I can see just in the sky here and here like warm tones, like a little bit pinky orange, so I might try adding a bit of that to the sky, which isn't something I normally do, but I think it would be a fun thing to experiment with. I've done it again when I was in the middle of filming something and then I just stopped filming the process, and I was filming that on Monday, so and now it's Thursday and I'm back in Gloucestershire. So I finished the print, but it just didn't go particularly well. I don't think I was in the right mood to be creating. I feel like I go through stages where I'm doing so much admin I can't get to the art, and all I want to do is make art, and then when I do I'm full of creativity. And then I go through stages where I've got more time to create, and then I kind of use up all my creativity, and I feel like I'd got to that stage and I wasn't really appreciating the time I was making as much. So yeah, I just don't think I was in the right mindset for making that day. But I've hung the prints up to dry and they're not like terrible. They were an experiment, and experiments, I guess, are meant to go wrong some of the time. And there's definitely things I don't like about the print. I don't really know what to do with them, if I should release them, when to release them. So they're just going to sit there for a while, I think, and then we'll see what I decide. But I came back from Devon on Tuesday morning because I had orders to pack, I had the podcast to edit, and then I needed to prep for the print release at the end of this month, because even though it's only mid-March now, I'm going away tomorrow for a week. So by the time I get back to work, it will be the week leading up to the print release. So I've been cutting mounts, I've been photographing, I've been editing, it's only the Bristol Harbourside Landscape Artist of the Year print that I'm releasing. I don't know the last time I just released one print edition. Normally there's at least 2 or 3, but I'm just taking things a little bit more easy at the moment. And then at the end of the next month, at the end of April, I think there'll be the 3 tree prints to release, so that will be a big launch. And talking of those prints, I need to engrave them ready for the 5th layer now, so that when I get back from going away, I can get straight back into printing after I spend the first day or so catching up with emails, orders and my accounts. So yeah, I've got the 3 blocks that all need engraving ready for their 5th layer, and I'm just excited to see them finished. Hopefully they turn out like how I want them to. And yeah, I kind of want to take them back to Tortworth Arboretum to kind of photograph them and also just like compare them to the real thing. So yeah, I'm going to do this, and then the next time I talk to you, it will be when I'm in North Wales. And we're on holiday, so I won't like film very much because it's a holiday, not a residency, but I'll definitely take you along and show you the best bits of our break. So we're about halfway through our holiday in North Wales, and it has been such a lovely break. It is so remote here. I don't think I realised how remote the place we'd booked is. There's just no other houses anywhere near, and the track to get to the house takes about 10 minutes. It's like a woodland path basically, and you have to drive it very, very slowly. So it's quite an experience, and the view is amazing. You've got like a 360 view of the mountains and hillsides, and yeah, it's an amazing location. I've taken loads of clips, as you can imagine, so I'll put them in the video now, and I've done lots of sketching. So there's a little snug, which is like a reading room at the side of the house, and I spent a lot of time there sketching. Mainly the same view, because when the view is that expansive and the light's always changing, like it just doesn't get boring. And I really feel like I've been experimenting, trying to find how I like to sketch, because I think my sketching changes quite a lot because it still feels so new to me because I shied away from sketching for so long. And yeah, I'm just finding my feet with it, I think. So I'm doing lots of experiments, working with different marks, and yeah, it's just been fun. Like, I haven't put any pressure on myself. So we're staying quite near to where I did the Mawddach Residency last year because I wanted to show Sam the area. We're staying on the other side of the estuary, about 20 minutes drive from Barmouth. So we visited Barmouth when he loved the beach. It was just nice revisiting it all. We walked across the bridge to where the residency is, but we're going back today to have lunch with Jake, who is one of the people that runs the residency. So that will be really lovely. And it's only been 13 months since I did the residency, so it's a similar time of year as to when I was here last time, but the weather is so much nicer this time. I remember last time for a lot of the days you couldn't see across the estuary because of the fog, so it's been nice to have an experience of it in the sunshine. If you didn't see those residency videos, they're on my channel. There's one, I think it's called like 2 weeks at an artist residency, and then another one which is a day in the life of an artist residency. So they're both filmed around here. And there's also another video where my friend Sam, who is a filmmaker, came and made a little film about me at the residency, and that's also on my channel. We're actually going to go and have a cup of tea with him tomorrow because he lives about an hour north of here. But yeah, we've mainly just been walking and exploring the landscape, the woodlands, and yeah, just taking in all the views. So I'll probably check in again towards the end of our stay here and show you all the artwork that I've made in the week that we've been here. I just got back to the cottage and realised I'd forgotten to mention our neighbours. So there's some Highland cattle that hang around the house, which is really lovely, and they've been really fun to sketch. They seem pretty relaxed, like they haven't come near us. They just kind of graze all day and sometimes fall asleep, and yeah, I've just been enjoying sketching them. It's our last full day here in North Wales, and Sam's gone to do a trail half marathon. So I've got a few hours to do some more sketching. I didn't actually manage to do any sketching yesterday because we went to Conwy, which was a really lovely little town on the coast. We had such a nice time there. There's really nice shops. And we saw the RCA exhibition, the head funnel one that I was prepping for it in the first studio vlog, and then I delivered it in the second studio vlog. So it's quite nice doing these monthly vlogs, how things get documented over time, like how everything kind of comes together. And then we went to Bodnant Garden, which is a National Trust garden. And surprisingly, we could take Winnie because like on certain days after April, you can take dogs, I think. And then before April, like in the winter months, I think you can take dogs every day, which was surprising. But it was so lovely. And I think it's our favourite National Trust place that we visited. But we didn't have very much time there because we'd planned to go on to have dinner. So like we rushed round, but it was so nice. Amazing flowers and waterfalls and trees. Yeah, it was really, really lovely. I'd love to go back, maybe to Conwy and do like a residency and visit the gardens again. I thought I'd show you the sketches that I've done over my time here. It's been interesting, but I feel like I've been trying to like get to somewhere I haven't quite got to yet. So when we went back to the Mawddach Residency a couple of days ago, we had a really nice lunch with Jake and with the current artist in residence there, Jenny Adam, and she actually showed us some of the sketches that she'd done so far, and she'd got so much done in the short time she'd been there, because she'd only been there about 5 days, I think. And I was really taken by her sketches. I really loved the feel of them, and I felt like she had like a real language of sketching. Like you could just tell they were hers, and she was obviously really, really skilled. And I think because I didn't sketch for so long, I just haven't developed that language. And you can try and emulate other people's sketches you like and bring that into your work, but at the end of the day, I think it can take years to kind of find that language. So yeah, it's made me think, because I love printmaking and that will probably always be the main thing I do, but I love sketches, like seeing people's sketches. I find them so interesting and full of energy. So I definitely want to work on that. And I felt like I was getting somewhere when I did the Treehouse residency in December, and then a little bit in the Tortworth sketches, even though I didn't really like them at the time. But I really feel like my sketches have come a little bit too tight. I'm not sure I'm using the right combination of materials. I think I need to rethink that. And actually, when I went to Pegasus Art Shop before I left for here, I was after white watercolour from my watercolour palette, because the white's run out because I use it quite a lot. And they didn't have a white one, but then they had white watercolour in a tube, and I had used watercolours in a tube, but really poor quality ones when I was a child. But I've really enjoyed using it, and also I found that if I squeeze it into the, like where the white normally lives, and then it dries, I can kind of use it as normal watercolour, but it feels a little bit like it's got a bit more body, a bit more pigmented. I don't know, it's made me think maybe I should try painting with things other than watercolour, because I'm drawn to really like bold art, and I find that hard to do with watercolour, which is why then I do pastels and pencils over the top, but then sometimes I feel that can get a bit tight, and that kind of takes away from the energy in a way. So I just think I need to experiment a bit more with my materials. That's kind of what I'm coming away with. So I'll go through the pieces that I've made since I got here last Friday, so it's Thursday now. So this was the first sketch I did out of the window at the top, and yeah, I think it's my favourite, which is always a little bit annoying how that happens, that sometimes you just peak at the beginning and it's downhill from there. I think it's quite common because like I had all the excitement of a new place, I was really looking and taking it in, and maybe by the end on the other sketches I kind of felt like I knew what the landscape looked like in a way, so I was doing less observing, which led to not such good sketches. So yeah, there's that one, which has a combination of watercolour, Caran pastels and Caran pencils. So the pastels that I'm using are water soluble and the pencils aren't, so it's a real mix of materials. And then the second piece I made, I think I've got the order of these right, but I can't quite remember, was this landscape here. So I was trying to loosen up my marks and kind of work with mark making, and I didn't like the trees in my first sketch because they just felt a little bit like crude, the branches, and they do feel crude here, but here they're a little bit more abstract. I think that was more successful. And then I challenged myself to put in a Highland cow, which maybe makes the whole thing a bit twee, but yeah, it was there, so I thought, well, why not add it in? take up the challenge. And then all the cows lay down for a sleep, or they were like just chewing the cuds. So I sketched all the cows, and I started with the cows first because I thought they were going to move, which they did. So I sketched all the cows from life apart from this one here who got up, but I'd taken a picture at the very beginning, so I was able to use that reference. So yeah, this one, I like the cows. I quite like the mix of styles. I was just quite proud of myself for the challenge of drawing the animals, because yeah, it's not something I'm particularly practiced at doing from life. And then that evening there was a nice sunset. I really don't like this one, it's way too overworked, but there's that one. And then I did this one the next morning. Again, I think I was just experimenting with the mark making and struggling with the branches of the trees. And this is just one I've done over a couple of days. As the cows have appeared outside the window, I've just sketched them from life. I want to fill that one up by the time I leave, but it depends if they appear at the right time. This one, I think I made it after we'd visited the residency, so I was thinking, I think I need to loosen up a little bit and also not be too scared of leaving white space on the page, because I think a lot of the sketches I admire from others is where they've had the confidence to leave white on the page and not try and fill everything, because I find it hard to leave large areas unworked. So I was trying to loosen up in the sky. I quite like the sky. This one's not too bad maybe. I don't know, I can't really tell yet because they're all quite new, so I need to kind of revisit them, I think. And then this one I haven't finished, and I might not finish, but yeah, I was just trying to do like a loose background and then a more detailed pastel tree over the watercolour on top. But I just got a bit bored of doing the tree. I think when I'm working relatively big like that, I just get a bit impatient. And then this morning I drew 4 rectangles in different colours, and then within each rectangle I did the same view but with the colour of the rectangle basically as the main palette. I found it really hard. I do feel like when I sketch I'm just kind of like stabbing in the dark, and sometimes it's okay and sometimes it's not, and I don't always understand why. But I think it's just something like with practice you learn over time. And then I've come outside this morning because it's so nice and sunny, it's warm and it's still, which is really nice. And I've started to sketch the hill opposite, which isn't the view I've been focusing on, so it's nice to have a new view. And I don't know if it's going very well, but I'm just having a bit of fun out here. And it's made me think I'd really like to book another residency soon, because I just feel like I need to really like delve into what I'm trying to get to with sketching to just like really focus, because it's been great here. I've had quite a lot of time to do sketching, but obviously it's been a holiday and we've been out and about quite a lot, so I've been doing lots of different things, and I've sketched like in the moments where we haven't really been doing anything. So I'd like maybe like a week or even 2 weeks to just really experiment, try different colour palettes, different marks, and really kind of delve into it. We're back from holiday now, and I'm looking after my sister's dog Pippi for a few days. So Winnie's got a friend. What have you seen? A pigeon. Anyway, so I had a lot of admin to do when I got back, and then, as you can probably see behind me, I finished the tree prints. Feels like I've been working on those for ages. I guess it's been 3 months. So yeah, it feels really good that I finished those now. So firstly, I finished the silver birch print, and I think it may be my favourite of the 3. I just like the contrast of it, and mainly the mark making, because I think it's quite abstract and it's kind of what I was after. It's interesting to see it next to the sketch, because with all these prints, I didn't refer back to photographs, I only referred to these initial sketches. So yeah, it's been really nice trying to translate my marks that I made with pencils and paint into wood engraving. And then we've got the Catkins print. This one's a little bit more illustrative, I think. I really like this one as well, and it was one where I couldn't really fit everything in of the sketch because of the size of the block. Like I kind of wanted to put this pink in, but I wasn't really able to. But I think the composition works really well. Like it's kind of interesting how it's like sliced in half with the tree at that angle. So yeah, there's that one. And then I struggled a bit with this last one, because in this sketch it's got like a dark green as what I was planning to be the final layer. But when I printed it in green, it just reminded me of like, you know, those like camouflage jackets, and I just didn't really like it. So then I tried a blue, this one, but I thought it was a bit dark, like too much contrast, so then I went for a slightly lighter blue, which I think works quite well. So that was the only one where I really kind of deviated from the original plan. And I think by using blue as the last colour helps match the others as well, because they've all got a type of dark blue as the final layer, which kind of ties them together as a group of 3, I think. But they're all quite different. They all definitely are standalone prints. You could have them in a set, but they don't necessarily like need to be together. So these prints will be released at the end of April, I think, because in 2 days from now I'm releasing the Bristol Harbourside print. So that's 2 days from when I'm recording this, not from when I'm releasing this. So I need like a bit of breathing space between that release, getting all the mounts cut for these, and just getting ready for a release, which takes quite a lot of time. So today, as well as writing my newsletter and doing some other bits of admin, I really need to get a final sketch and work out the colours for my Dartmoor print that I'm making for a show at Make Southwest, because yeah, if I'm going to finish it in time for June, I need to start it this week and print the first layer next week to be on track with a piece that's dry enough to frame. So these are the 4 sketches that I did earlier in the video, and I didn't really feel like any of them were ones that I really wanted to make a print directly from. I could have, but they weren't really speaking to me as like, oh yeah, that's definitely the one. So this morning I've been sketching out a composition. This is the size of the block. I just grabbed the block. I think it's like the chunkiest block that I've ever engraved, possibly. Inky Shadows and like the Malvern Hills and a previous Dartmoor one were like longer, but I think they were a bit like skinnier. It's a bit of pressure because obviously it's like really expensive to buy a block this size, so like I want to get it right, and also it's going to be a lot of time invested into this print, so yeah, I want to kind of plan it a little bit more than I normally would plan a print. So this is a sketch I've come up with so far. So I've kind of taken elements of some of these sketches and brought them together into one, because I'm not bothered about the print being like a specific place on Dartmoor. I want this print to be like the essence of Dartmoor, like you'll see it and you'll know it's Dartmoor, and I want to kind of put in how I feel about Dartmoor and the colours I think of when I think of Dartmoor and how it makes me feel. So that's why I'm not like fussy about, oh, this is a particular place, because it isn't that. It's like a mashup of different views. So I'm just about to add some colour and some marks, and yeah, hopefully by the end of today I'll have something I can transfer to the block. So I transferred the sketch to the block, engraved it, and then I printed it in a light grey, greeny blue colour. So it feels really good to have that first layer printed now, and it's drying ready for its second layer. Since I last recorded, I've also had my print release of the Bristol Harbourside print, which went really well. It kind of went too well. I had quite a lot of disappointed customers because my print sold out in just over a minute. And yeah, it was stressful for everyone involved, I think, which is not ideal, but I'm really grateful that they all sold. Hopefully the print release in April with these trees won't be quite as manic as that, and it will be a little bit calmer. I think it was a mix of like new subscribers from the TV show, and then also the fact that I was just releasing one print, and then it all came together to be a little bit stressful. So I've been keeping up with my daily collages. I feel like they're harder to keep up with at the moment, I think because I'm a little bit busier than I was in January and February, and maybe like the excitement's worn off a bit. Like I was really excited to do my daily collage each day, and at the moment they can be a little bit of a like, oh, I need to do my daily collage, or oh, I need to catch up with a couple because I've fallen behind. So I think I need to find the joy in that again, because that is what that project was all about. So yesterday, when I collated all of the images that I've taken for this vlog that you're watching, I realised that I had almost 500 clips to edit, and it's been a bit of a slog getting them edited, so hopefully this is the last clip. So yeah, there's just been a lot to film. Didn't help that North Wales was so beautiful, as was Dartmoor, so I was like taking lots of little clips. and I've had quite a few projects on the go as well. So I don't know when my next vlog's going to be. I might need a little bit of a time to recover from this edit, but it hopefully won't be too long, and I'll be continuing to film printing the Dartmoor print. And actually I need to start the main image of my advent calendar because I'm really behind on that. So I'll film that, but that one won't come out until like September, because no one wants to watch anything about Christmas in like spring, summertime, so I'll delay all that footage until later in the year. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the lovely comments I've had on my videos. If you bought a Bristol Harborside print, if you tried to buy a Bristol Harborside print, yeah, I just really appreciate the support. If you're interested in the tree prints, I'd recommend signing up to my newsletter if you haven't already, and they'll be on sale at the end of the month. So I'm not 100% sure when the print release will be, but I'll put like a estimated date here in the video to give you an idea of when they'll be released, but don't hold me to that. Keep an eye on the website and on my social media.